Okay, here it is, day 13 of Secret Spirits Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar 6th edition. Did I say day 13? Yes, I did. Here it is, day 13. Let's give it a pour. Put the bottle sideways. See a few drops on the edge, suggesting, to begin with, a high ABV. Let's see what we get in terms of legs. Someone recently commented on one of these videos, "You're seriously not very good at this." Of course I'm not very good at this. How often do I do blind tastings? Almost never. I can't tell what's going on here. Let's do that again. Boom, gone. Right down the sides. Someone was saying in one of these Whiskey Advent Calendar tastings that at 48% is where your 48% alcohol by volume is where your whiskey is going to be the most viscous. Possibly because water is more viscous than alcohol. I still have bubbles on the sides. You can still see those right there. And one more time with the, see what we can get some legs out of this. Oh, they're coming down, but they don't make very big drops. Nose is quite malty. Malty like Ovaltine. Aside from that, I'm getting a bit of pears and apples. I think this is a severely high ABV. I'm not getting much on the nose. I'm getting, strangely enough, a lot of bourbon-specific notes that would point to ex-bourbon. Getting some caramels, some vanillas, and even some rye, some minty dill. This smells like a bourbon, but very, very, very low in intensity. So it'd be safe to say that it's aged in ex-bourbon right away. Maybe even first fill because of the intensity of the sureness that I'm getting of the bourbon. It smells just like a bourbon. But like I said, the intensity is a lot less. So I get the vanilla, I get some dill, some mint, I get some caramel, that kind of thing. I'm even getting some of the oak. Question is the oak from Well, it's from the barrel, and I'm pretty sure it's an ex-bourbon barrel. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So what? I admit I'm not very good at this. Most of the year I have the label in front of me and it tells me what the whiskey is, and then I taste it, and then I give you my impressions. Here I'm giving you the impressions without the benefit of the label. And I don't have that much practice blind. Had I done my whole channel blind, and if somebody would be here to set them up for me, grab whiskeys from my bar and pour them for me, that would be very nice, but I live alone. And I'm not very good at mixing things up for myself. I have samples here. I have samples with labels on them that tell me what's in there. This one too, if I would look at it. But I'm not looking at it. I haven't seen it. Let's taste it. Whoa. That is strong. That is strong. High alcohol. My tongue is burning on the tip and on the sides. I got a little bit of a fruity taste, but not much of a taste at all. It's just mostly alcohol. I'm going to add some water to this. Oh, I guess, I don't know, 7 or 8 milliliters. See if that tames down the burn. This one is potent. I'm curious to peek at the label to see how much alcohol by volume this is. But the last one was surprisingly low. It was at 40. I was giving it 43, maybe 46. But it was 43. And it was a blend rather than a single malt. I'm still getting oak. Initially, I was getting a bourbon barrel. I was getting bourbon, but much lower in intensity than a bourbon would be. But it was giving me a bourbon nose. Now, I'm getting less of a bourbon nose and beginning to get some of the other contents, or a whiff of other things going on besides bourbon barrel. I'm still getting ex-bourbon barrel. I'm getting the wood. I'm getting some vanilla and some caramel, just like I was before. I have to dig a lot for this. One could say that this is cask driven, but I also suspect that it's quite young, and the high alcohol content is trying to fool me into thinking maybe this whiskey is more than what I think it is. But now it's very faint, but I'm getting a little bit of that cherry note that I often get from bourbons. Am I getting any brown sugar too? It's all very faint. Let's taste it again. Wow. Pears. Sugary note. It's like cotton candy. What kind of legs do we have now that we've added some water? They are running down. Let's do that once again. The droplets are sticking to the side. They are slow to form. No, they're gone already. There's some sticking to the side, but most of them are gone. They are not moving down. They are not moving down, even after I've added water to the whiskey. They are stuck to the side. They are not growing. Look at those drops. They are just sticking to the side. They're not growing. The whiskey has sheeted down and there are just drops sticking to the side. They're not moving down at all. You might need a little more water, but I'm going to give it another sip. Wow. It's still burning my tongue where I bit it 2 days ago. Lots of tingle on the tongue, especially on the tongue tip. Strange. I should drink some water. Nice gulp to clear my palate. Do it again. Nose and taste. I'm getting oak again. Oak, some pear, some barley sugar, pears and cotton candy. Now if I dig down some more, I'm getting some vanilla and caramel. A little bit of that. Maybe a bit of lemon citrus. Citrus from the lemon end of the scale. I think the scale goes from lemon to orange towards grapefruit, or is it lemon? I'd say lime, lemon, orange, lime, lemon, grapefruit, orange. So it would be in the middle somewhere. Lemon and grape, somewhere between lemon and grapefruit. Yeah, that's where the citrus is. And there's a bit of a pear note as well. It's fruity, but it's not dark fruits. And it's sugary. It's sweet. At least on the nose, I'm getting some sweetness. That's from the wood. That's from that ex-bourbon. Wow. Okay, do it again. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's ex-bourbon. At least that's what ex-bourbon smells like to me. It smelled just like bourbon at first. Nothing but of course weaker. Had to work kind of hard to get the other nosing notes out of there. Don't know if I can get any more. Taste again. Yeah, that'll cure anything that ails you. I'm going to add some more water. See if I can make it a little less harsh. Because it's still very strong. I'm guessing this is more than 60% ABV. Just guessing. We'll see if I'm any good at this or not. It's also possible that comments like that one, telling me that I'm not very good, are making me try to be a lot better. There's always room for improvement because you're not perfect. And I'm talking strictly about myself here. I mean, there may be some people out there who are perfect, but I'm not it. Okay, now at this point, the water is just bringing down the ABV. It's not doing anything to bring anything out. I think the first little bit of water that I put in brought everything out that it could. I'm getting vague cherry note right now. Maybe a vague brown sugar note along with that vague cherry note. Vague oak. Try on the palate. Maybe I'll get more out of the taste than I do out of the nose. Citrus. Citrus grapefruit. Sweetness. Quite sweet. Sweet and vague oak and grapefruit. At this point in time, I'd say it drinks very smoothly. It drinks very easily. It's still a high ABV. If we get any legs now, what are they going to tell us? Now we're getting some legs. But still, there are so many drops sticking to the sides of the glass. The legs would be right there. You can kind of see them. Now I think we have our 46%. Lots of vanilla. What's that other note? Oh, I'm getting something else. It's an indistinct fruit. I can't tell. I think it's a... Oh, that is nice now. Sweet pears. Vanilla whipping cream. Creamy. It's creamy. A little bit of wood tannins. I'm getting a lot of wood on the finish. Lots of wood on the finish. Wood and not very spicy. I'd say it's Quercus alba. This is beguiling. At the strength I have it now, I could drink it all day. It's got a full flavor. Grapefruit, citrus, a hint of cherry. I don't mean sherry, I mean cherry with a CH. Wood, oak. I'm not getting any of the rye from the bourbon barrel anymore. I mean, that's long been watered down, but now I get a very, very pleasant dram almost while it's finished. I will put this down right now and find out what this is because I like it. I like it after I've added a lot of water and messed around with it to bring it to the point of being palatable. But at the beginning, it's just a hot mess of alcohol. And it's still pretty potent after I put about 8 mils of water in it. And then, after I added a little more water, it tamed it down to the point where it's drinkable. Okay. It is a 21-year-old Aaron. Single malt Scotch Whisky, distilled in 1996. Cask type, refill barrel. Cask number 12357 at 52% alcohol. 52%, but it drinks higher than that. To me, anyway, it's quite hot. And it's from the island region. Well, I did get one. I'm sure it's refill barrel. This one fooled me too because I thought it was, well, it could be ex-bourbon too, but it says refill. It doesn't say what refill barrel. So I'm guessing it's, does that mean first fill? Ex-bourbon? It just says refill barrel. Doesn't say anything else. And it is from, what is that thing that looks like a soccer ball? It's a round thing that looks like a porthole with, oh, I'll have to check. Is it that Claxton's? I think it's the Claxtons. If this is typical of Claxton's, their stuff is usually it. This is only the second one from them that I've had. It's hot. They like it hot and alcohol. And 52% is usually quite nice for me. But this 21-year-old Aaron is it's just drinkable now that I've brought it down to about 35%. At 52, it's a hot mess of alcohol. In the high 40s, it's still quite mean. Interesting, though. These are my impressions of it. Another thing I gotta say about these blind tastings is I usually start with something that's bottled at 40 or 43%. I don't usually start up in the 50s when I'm on a flight and when I'm tasting whiskey. If I'm opening bottles, I always start with something lower in alcohol. With this blind tasting, I'm starting with stuff at whatever the alcohol percentage is, and I'm not used to that. So I'm learning. I'm learning as I go. Now, this was an interesting exercise. Now it's really nice after I've added quite a bit of water to it. Aaron, 21-year-old. I never would have guessed. I thought, well, yeah, it was definitely cask driven. And I guess it takes some water to bring out the distillery character. Anyway, this was also another interesting learning experience. I thank you very much, Jonathan, and everyone else at Secret Spirits. May you enjoy continued good health. In other words, Slanchava.
Foodquig.
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 Yeah.